Okay, it's time for my interpretation of I Pet Goat 2 by Hierophant, which is misspelled in a certain way for a purpose not to have the PH in there, which is son and knowledge of things. This is how it goes. I will interpret this as it plays. I'm going to turn the volume down just a hair so you don't hear outrageously what's happening here. I Pet Goat 2 is a very revealing episode of graphics without words and symbology of what's really going on. And this is what's really going on. The doorknob with the wire around it, the fencing, the goat in the box, which is you, with the bell that tells them where you're at all times. I Pet Goat 2 with the 666 on the forehead, and the elitists who run us. If you recognize the 666 is under there, which every barcode has. The ring, which is a dollar sign, and a serpent, and the symbology of such, of the serpent wrapping the coil of medicine also. There's a pig symbol on here dripping blood off the hands. And you see George W. Bush, the first puppet of this, and doing his magic tricks. And the floor that is, well, the floor itself is a symbol of the Masonic Lodge. If you look at any pictures of the Masonic Lodge, they have a checkered floor, black and white, blue and white, and some say dark blue. And his smug look on there. And if you look at this map, well, there's the Gulf incident, Louisiana incident, the Murrah building in Oklahoma incident, and up here, well, the Twin Tower incident. And then his ineptitude of Bush trying to explain why we have to be with him or against him in his own way during this, and you can see that. And then up here you can see the clock is at 12. I'll explain more when it gets clearer. The clock is at 12. We're at midnight. We have the evolution of man up to a point where he has a gun in his hand. And then there's a blockage that if we can pass that, we hit enlightenment. We have the phallic symbol spewing semen. We have the hangman in evolution trying to be spelled out here. This is all failures, basically. The church being burnt with the cross in the window on the upper floor. The crab claw hitting the symbol of Yod, trying to pinch the Yod. Very symbolic, this entire thing. And then you have the Bohemian Glow owl. This is the same owl that's on the dollar bill on the front, up in the upper right corner within the design. If you look in the magnifying glass, you'll see this owl. You have the snowflake over here with the 6-point stars. The star is Saturn, the 6th planet from the sun. Shame on you. for not realizing what was happening. And he does some more magical acts, and he has the devil sign, the two fingers, the pinky and the forefinger, and and then he turns into Obama, which is another puppet controlled by the same force you saw in the beginning. Then you have the innocents, represent like the goat with the blue eyes. And this here is a symbol also. And she realizes this is not good and drops the apple of good and evil knowledge. And then out of it sprouts a lotus with a third eye, which is the key to it all. And he's afraid that we will wake up to the third eye. Psalm 23 is spoke of on that wall in graffiti. The flag ripped in two, the fall of America as long as when the towers fell. And all the symbology in here. This man jumps to his death because of it. Then you have the Christ consciousness coming in on the boat of Anubis with the flames at his feet. You have Osama bin Laden with the sign on his chest of the CIA. False flags. The dripping of the oil in the ocean of the Gulf. The destruction of liberty under Zionism. You have the eye of the mainstream media overlooking a child to be born, to be manipulated and controlled. You have Christ waking up slowly. You have mainstream media again, in a way, as the way I interpret this, controlling the minds of us with the drugs and all that come in through their, well, not the mainstream, look, warning, and the mosque being destroyed. You see many symbologies in this. This thing is just full of symbology. The elixir of life under the sun. A beetle with the eye of the pyramid on its back. A child who goes blank in Africa when the ribbon is pulled. Drowning of the socialist Marxism and the labor force. A protester of Occupy being stopped, and the big business evil telling her so. This is all just easily interpreted in its own way. The symbology is so simple in its own way. Control of the mainstream media through the TV telling you what to think, or what to do, how to act. Christ trying to blow away all this from you and inflaming you to recognize your third eye coming out of the throat of it all. Symbol of the throat. Kyla, the tongue. The fish entering the boat. Christ's flaming heart trying to awake. This here is the horror of Babylon realizing her mistakes through the church and being purified by the light itself. You notice that goes away. The old horror and the symbol of the twisting serpents of medicine, and Christ coming up destroying all those who have been received by the Antichrist. And the Antichrist, basically the MSM and others running away, and the awakening of the human race, and the dancing of the, this is a dervish, the rise back of Islam, of the Christ recognition. This image transforms to a bird, to a bear, and another symbol, meaning America, Russia, and China, most likely the dragon. And then Christ coming out of consciousness coming out of the throat of evil and heading towards the light. And you see that his banner upon his head, the crown of thorns, disappears as the old religion of misinformation crumbles behind him. And we awake to the true Christ within us. Christ is within us, not out there. You will never find Christ there or there or there. Read Matthew 24. He's not out there. He's within us all. You just have to wake up and realize this. And this is what you'll realize, that we're coming back to the light of God, of the universe, which is within everything in the creation of all. Until next time, this is Spellbinder saying, be good or be good at it, and good day. That's my interpretation.